Prices of houses in Ghana have become a matter of concern for many Ghanaians. The cost of owning a house in the country has experienced a steady and a significant rise over the years, making it increasingly unaffordable for the large population. In the mid-2013, the average house like this in Accra was selling for 315,000 Ghana cedis. But today, this same house will cost you not less than 770,000 Ghana cedis. Even most houses in the country are now priced in dollars. According to the government of Ghana, the country has a staggering deficit of 2 million homes. This situation is getting worse by the day. So, to address these expensive house prices and house shortage issues, the government is offering free land incentives to estate developers to build more units to bring down housing costs and increase access for Ghanaians.
So, Ghana now has a staggering over 2 million units of housing that we have to fill. And our target is that we do this within the next 4 years. That's quite an ambitious target that we've set for ourselves. For a home to be affordable too, the government realizes that not more than 30% of the home buyer's income should be attributed to housing. But currently, most Ghanaians are actually double paying with homes because they are renting and also self-financing their homes. So there's a new paradigm shift that the government is introducing to help us to meet this. The goal is to provide affordable housing in partnership with the private sector, and also to improve on the technology that we use in Ghana. Right now in Ghana, most homes are built with concrete. For those of you who live in England, you know that concrete homes are a bit outmoded now. So we are looking at ways that we'll be able to use modern technology to build, so that in the short term we'll be able to reduce the deficit by at least 10%. So the current framework that the government is working on is one that to secure land banks for developers, and also to provide the horizontal infrastructure, as well as provide tax incentives. So if you are interested in investing in homes, in housing in Ghana now, the government will give you land for free.
This is Kwabena Ampofo Apia, the Managing Director of State Housing Company, Ghana. But before he continues, let's first have a look at some reasons houses in Ghana are getting so much expensive. But before we start, please don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you very much for liking. Now, let's dive into the factors contributing to expensive housing market in Ghana. First, there is the demand versus supply game. Ghana's population is booming, and the year of return that was introduced in 2019 has also attracted visitors from the African communities abroad into the country, especially in the cities like Accra and Kumasi. And more people need homes, which has led to a higher prices of homes in the country. So the construction of new ones just can't keep up. This imbalance is pushing the prices of homes to the skies. Next, let's talk about construction cost. Ghana relies heavily on imported building materials, and they come with hefty import duties. So the cost of importing these materials add to the overall expenses of building these houses, which are ultimately passed on to the buyers like you and I. But it's not just materials. Financing can be a nightmare for Ghanaians. Currently, Ghana has the highest interest rate on the beautiful African continent, which stands at 29.24%. And these higher interest rates and limited access to mortgages make it tough for the average Ghanaian to afford a loan. Even saving enough for a down payment is a hard task for the average Ghanaian. And we can't ignore the income levels. Sadly, most salaries in Ghana can't match the increasing house prices. The average income in the country just doesn't cut it, leaving many Ghanaians stuck in rented accommodation or worse, overcrowded conditions. So, what can be done? The government is trying to address this issue with incentives like affordable housing projects and land allocation schemes. Let's hear more about these incentives from the Managing Director of State Housing Company Ghana, Mr. Kwabena Ampofo.
So we'll be going through the affordable housing structure as we have in Ghana. So Ghana now has a staggering over 2 million units of housing that we have to fill. And our target is that we do this within the next 4 years. That's quite an ambitious target that we've set for ourselves. For a home to be affordable too, the government realizes that not more than 30% of the home buyer's income should be attributed to housing. But currently, most Ghanaians are actually double paying with homes because they are renting and also self-financing their homes. With the target that we have set for ourselves, it means that Ghana needs to be building about 400,000 homes every year. Currently, we are doing less than 50% of that. With that said, the government of Ghana is inviting the private sector to help us in terms of delivering these homes. This is just a graphical to show you how the housing situation gets worse by the day. Currently, we have about 50% of the population of Ghana living in urban areas because of the rural-urban migration. Meanwhile, the housing situation is not improving in these areas as well. We estimate that 60% of Ghanaians will not be able to afford homes without government support. We also estimate that about 35% will not even be able to buy homes, even with government subsidies. Only 5% of the population are able to buy their own homes without any government support. So the target of the government is the 60%. How do we help these 60% achieve housing? This is just a picture of a settlement, a shaman. For those of you who are familiar with the Greater Accra region, this is right in the heart of the capital. And we seek to change this to more like what is happening around the Tetokwashi area. So this is just comparing what we have in Old Fadama to what currently is happening. In the past, we've tried several interventions, including affordable housing units in 6 different regions between 2000 and 2008 by the former president. We've also had the infamous Segleme housing project by the former NDC government, which all did not seem to achieve what we need, because remember the number, 400,000 homes, and we are looking at these about 5,000, which is a drop in the ocean. So there's a new paradigm shift that the government is introducing to help us to meet this. The goal is to provide affordable housing in partnership with the private sector, and also to improve on the technology that we use in Ghana. Right now in Ghana, most homes are built with concrete. For those of you who live in England, you know that concrete homes are a bit outmoded now. So we are looking at ways that we'll be able to use modern technology to build, so that in the short term we'll be able to reduce the deficit by at least 10%. So the current framework that the government is working on is one that to secure land banks for developers, and also to provide the horizontal infrastructure, as well as provide tax incentives. So if you are interested in investing in homes, in housing in Ghana now, the government will give you land for free. Also, the government will take care of the horizontal infrastructure in terms of utilities and then the roads, and also to provide tax incentives in terms of if you are importing machinery, etc., into the country, you have some tax breaks as well. Also, the government have introduced a subsidies for the supply side, where banks are encouraged to give mortgages at discount rates. Currently, we are looking at about 11.9%. This is still high, but if you compare it to what we have of over 30% for 5 years as compared to about 11% for about 20 years, that is a huge movement of the needle. But we are looking at even putting it down further. So this is just an example to show you what you get if you're investing in homes. You get secured land, you get the infrastructure, and you get tax exemptions to aid the more people in the private sector to get into housing. State Housing Company, as a company, we have secured land banks in almost all the regions, in Wa, Tamale, Bolgatanga, Gorsu, Kumasi, Kufurudia, Cape Coast, everywhere. So as my team is here, if you're interested in investing in housing in Ghana, we're more than happy to have further discussion with you. We have some specifications that the government requires if you are interested in buying homes. Because we are looking at making it affordable, we are saying that a one-bedroom studio, you should not be selling it for over $12,000. And the three-bedroom, we have the square foot area, should not be selling for more than $37,000. We believe that if we're able to achieve this price point, which we've checked with our BOQs and everything to make sure that it is achievable in Ghana, we will be able to meet the 30% income bracket that we have set for ourselves as a country. Currently, we are moving in full speed this month to do in the Greater Accra region, in the Pokuasi area. We have 200 acres of land that we are developing now, and also in the Dedeswa region, near Kumasi, also another 200 acres of land that we are currently working on, and we've had some tremendous interest from the private sector that we are moving full speed with. So if you are here and you are interested, please, let's talk about it. So this is my contact information. I'll leave it on the board for as long as the MC will allow it. Ghana is open for business.
But there is more to be done, like supporting local manufacturing, boosting incomes, and improving access to financing. Because owning a home is a human right, and we need to make it a reality. So that is all for today's episode. Please let us know your thoughts and suggestions on this in the comment section below. My name is Sheriff Haruna. Have a joyful life and see you in our next video. Macrao.